Alright, what is going on, you guys? It's been a little while since I've done a vlog, but I wanted to do a vlog here. So right now I'm currently sitting in the office getting some work done. It is Sunday, but what this vlog is going to be, we're just going to catch up a little bit, and I'm also just going to give you an insight kind of on a day-to-day in my life right now. So this is going to be Sunday evening when I'm filming the intro, and the goal of this, actually, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I could do it tomorrow, I could start it, but every really good day starts the night before. So what I have right here, this is my daily planner. So I'm gonna set some things to do for tomorrow. Then I'm going through Instagram posts right now, finishing up a video, but all of this to say, I'm gonna plan some things out that I'm gonna do to start with, or I'm basically planning tomorrow today, and I'm just gonna walk you through tomorrow. So just to give you guys a little bit of overview for what planning my day looks like. My handwriting is terrible, I know that, so yeah, anyways. Usually, here I'll pick 3 things to do every day. I've learned from a lot of experience for years trying to do 5 or 6, things a day. Only 2 or 3 are really manageable, and things have been very busy recently. So for me, I do count the gym as one of those things, which I, normally is easy for me, but just time-wise. So that training tomorrow is going to be one of the 3 things I want to get done. Posting this video right here, give you guys a sneak peek. It's going to be a in-depth blueprint for that. So, honestly, if you follow me on Instagram and see any of my reels, it might take me here in the office, 2 hours to film, another, hour or 2 of editing. So for, a 45 to a minute video, there are a lot of hours that go into that to getting it, to the point that I want it. And this is a longer video. This is 25. So there's, a different process to go through here. So it's going to be a bit of a process to get that out. I want to do more content research, just focus on making my videos better, just with a, bit of a more in-depth script approach. So those are the main 3 things. And then I also have what I call plus 1%. So things that, if I'm really locked in, really having a good day flowing, I'll be able to get done. So laundry, cleaning my room. Don't always get to these things, but I like to set some kind of plus 1% things that just, would be a little bit of extra productivity there. Alright, you guys, welcome to the vlog. What do we have going on this morning? Well, this is a cup of tea and some honey that is cooling down so I can drink it. We got a ton of water right here, entering the first work block of the day. And I was going to clean this up, but then I was like, this is YouTube, not Instagram. So honestly, I don't care. So what we have over here, we got one monitor right here if I want to sit down and do some work, but another one right here. Also, shout out to my man Zach. He 3D printed this for me. This is from JJK. If you watch anime at all, if not, you probably should. And then this water bottle is also from him. He went to a trip somewhere in London or England, I think, and brought this back for me. So appreciate you, dude. It's actually one of the guys in here from a trip that we did last year. But I want to show you guys kind of what some of my first morning work block looks like. So this is called the power list. Basically, you set some habits for the day. My most important ones are in red right here, but me and some of my friends, hold each other accountable this way and have just different habits in here. And then what you can do is you can go in and give yourself the check or the X for whatever you do for the day. The one I already did today was stand up 10 minutes after my alarm. So just a, really good way to hold myself accountable to getting up. So I'm gonna just spend the next, 45 minutes to an hour just plugging through some of these, just getting into a deep focus work block to set myself up for the day. All right, you guys, there is the timer for the first work block, 45 minutes done. I was gonna kind of record a little bit more during it, but honestly, the point of this is just to get into a super deep work block. So got that all set. I'll get rid of that, and then we're gonna go into a 60-minute. Why is this not working? Other one. We're gonna go 60 minutes. Start. Cool. Got a good amount done on the power list here for the day as well in that last one, but this one's going to be a 60-minute work block. Going to really focus on getting this YouTube video up. Gotta make the thumbnail, just get everything all ready there. So you guys see a lot more of me, or you'll see a lot more of me after this work block. I'm gonna go make breakfast and then get ready for the gym. That's really when the fun of the day starts. Time to start the best time of the day, pre-workout meal, and then workout. Nope. Got some of this. So this is Gorilla Mind Smooth. This is a nootropic. It's basically for focus. Already had my pre-workout drink, so just gonna take this, kind of let the pre-workout meal I had of oats digest a little bit more, and then gonna get headed to the gym. Oh yes. A beautiful New Hampshire, cold and rainy day. So it's finally time to go to the gym. Today, just to give you kind of an overview of what the day's been so far. This morning, I woke up and just kind of got into a deep work block. I was gonna record more clips and stuff for it or talk a little bit more, but honestly the point of that is just like not to touch my phone, just to put my head down. So I do a 45-minute work block to just get some things off the power list, and then a 60-minute work block, just more project-based work, you know, just basically to get stuff I don't want to do done. Today that was really all like the analytical or like the technical parts of the YouTube video. So I'll get that out. I put on my story for people to kind of vote which thumbnail was better. So on Instagram, people were helping me out with that. There's a pretty clear winner there so far. Then after that, go into just kind of hanging out, eating my pre-workout meal, making breakfast. Today that was an egg wrap, so 2 eggs, turkey bacon. That's like 2 hours before I train. Then about an hour before, I have a bowl of oatmeal with some peanut butter and berries, just kind of space the energy out, let you know, my stomach digest a little bit. Had an energy drink. Been really good about water today too, which is nice. Had a full one of these so far, which, you know, I'm shooting for 2 to 3 of these a day, so hopefully can kind of get the second one out of the way at the gym. Usually way thirstier when I'm there. And I'm starting a new split today too, so let me show you guys. I use the same training system that I give all of my clients to track my workouts, so let me kind of show you what we're rocking with right here. So this is, you know, the dashboard, kind of the to-do list for today. So I got a new split that I'm trying out. I'm gonna just be changing things up a little bit since, you know, I'm entering a cut soon. This is just the last few weeks of March. Just be testing things out, kind of getting my body ready for the cut starting in April. So, you know, what you can see, I'm able to just track everything in here, track all my sets and reps. This is gonna be a chest and back day. One of the reasons I changed things is just running into a little bit of, not necessarily injuries, but just hitting a lot of walls with the split that I had before. I'd been following it for a while, so you don't want to change your split up too much, but it's been, you know, probably 8+ months I've been doing the same thing, maybe even a year. So just changing this up a little bit. Only 5 exercises, so really gonna focus on, you know, just quality reps, intensity, gonna get nice and warmed up, and I will see you guys there. I also want to show you guys this that I keep in the car. So we got some Gatorade and we got some fruit snacks for intra-workout carbs. One thing that happens a lot of the time is your blood sugar can kind of dip. So this is really good to keep you energized and keep your blood sugar in a nice spot. If you've ever been training and, you know, you just kind of start to feel like a little off, more often than not, that's blood sugar. So these can be really good to have. But yeah, let's get into it. That was a pretty good workout overall. I didn't record anything for a few reasons. One reason being that's a Planet Fitness and you just can't really do that. So in the future, I'll try to go some other gyms or some type of stuff like that if I'm, you know, feeling like educating or just showing you guys what workouts look like. But also just because this is a little bit of like a maintenance phase before I start a cut. So I'm kind of just playing with different exercises in the gym. I'm switching up my split right now. I've been doing the same thing for a while, so not super intense at all. Not to mention I'm, you know, nursing a little bit of, I would say, a shoulder injury or just something that's prolonged. It gets inflamed for a bit and then kind of have to deload and lay off. So that's been, you know, I guess the approach that I'm taking right now. But what I wanted to share with you guys was this is usually the time, and it's funny, like I structure it like this. After I train is when I record a lot of content. If you follow me on Instagram,
you know, funny enough, that's like, I just have the endorphins. I try to come up with the idea while I'm working out. It usually comes to me pretty easily, and I honestly count on it. And then kind of just get in the car, record it, and I wanted to just give you guys an explanation of kind of like what it was. I don't know if you follow me, but if you don't, shameless plug, Phipps Fitness on Instagram, but I'll explain the reel to you guys because it's just something that I found insightful and just has been, you know, a pretty good little tool that I've gathered from this book. So it's called Your Next 5 Moves. The book is by Patrick Bet-David, and it's really, you know, it's kind of like business strategy, but obviously it applies to other things just like fitness does. And I was walking on the treadmill today after doing my lift, and it, you know, the first chapter of the book is really just about, you know, like setting a why, setting a vision. Like, that's not surprising to anybody who's into self-improvement. You kind of need to have those things. But the next step is what I found really interesting. It's all about like studying yourself almost from a third person point of view. Like, you know, you're playing this game and watching yourself. And, you know, I was just thinking about like my approach to training. You know, obviously this is a very small example of what I'm talking about, but you'll get what I mean, you know, just kind of how it can apply anywhere. But I was just thinking about it, and, you know, I've been training for a while, you know, a number of years, and I love it. You know, I don't, you know, and if you're watching this, you're probably pretty similar. You know, it's like you like working out, maybe you're a former athlete or, you know, whatever it was, like you just have that growth mindset. So like it actually isn't hard for you to train. So honestly, it's probably harder to rest. And that's super true for myself. So when I find, okay, like these things are aggravating my shoulder, I'm gonna have to pull back, you know, maybe I won't get to start the cut exactly when I want, or, you know, come out of the gates kind of as intense as I want. It just kind of gave me that like analytical view of like how to study myself, not just like, oh, I need to rest, but to look at myself and recognize those patterns of, I have a habit of pushing too hard. I have a habit of going from 0 to 100. My mom always used to say that when I was younger playing soccer. I'd get hurt all the time because I just, you know, I didn't really know anything about warming up, start the game, you know, just whatever it might be, start the game when I was young and just like go into a full-on sprint and, you know, just go into everything like 110%. And I guess that theme is just kind of like continued. So I guess just knowing yourself, I mean, that's the consistent thing of just knowing to yourself and admitting to yourself like your real strengths and weaknesses. But it's just something that I found helpful. Obviously you can take and apply to other areas of life, not just in a, you know, dieting, fitness context or whatever it might be, but just other areas. So, you know, very early on in the book, I think I'm like 25 pages in or something like that, but just a few tools that, you know, I've found useful so far. I'll, you know, keep sharing as I update, but still pretty rainy day here, you know, pretty gross or whatever. So gonna go home, eat some food, you know, got some work to do, but I'll do that after I get showered up and all that good stuff. Gotta do a swipe post for today. I have another video to edit, get the YouTube video finished and out. It's so funny, I put a poll on my story up, you know, asking you guys kind of what, let me pull it up, asking you guys which thing is better, like which thumbnail's better, and it's been 100% vote for the one that I thought was better too. So yeah, totally makes sense, I guess. But yeah, excited to get that out. You know, I had a lot of fun making it, whatever. Maybe I'll link it if it's up by the time that I post this video. If you're just looking to, you know, get in shape, I'm not going to nerd out about that too much here, just because, again, like I already did, and I'll put that up. If you're interested, you can watch it. It's the most in-depth blueprint I've ever created, I've ever seen. You know, I've watched a lot of videos. It just kind of puts everything together for you. So I will put that up if I get the chance to line everything up the way that I think I am. So catch you guys probably when I eat. All right, so that is the post-workout meal down. Just took a shower, ready to get into another work block. I'm gonna finish up the YouTube video. I have a swipe post that I wanna put out on Instagram in mind. I think it's gonna be very helpful just to kind of break down the 4 steps again that I'm gonna go over in the YouTube video that I'm putting out. And it feels really nice. I'm actually doing a good job with water today. You can always feel a difference when you're hydrated, and honestly, in the winter, I think it's a lot harder to drink more water just because it's colder, you're not sweating as much. When I'm, you know, active in the summertime, like playing pickleball and stuff, it's so much easier just because it's like, you know, you're sweating, like you just, you know, you're releasing more, so like it's just, you know, kind of in your mind to put more in. But been doing pretty good with this. This is going to be my 3rd one for the day, which is kind of what I'm looking at. And obviously I like these little things, you know, I like taking care of my body, I like eating well. all of that. But I want to remind you guys that it's not everything. You know, this stuff like this, journaling, reading, all of that is just as important. You know, journaling has been very helpful for me, asking yourself questions, just reflecting on things, you know, really getting to know, and just trying to understand yourself. So, you know, that's something I always want to advocate for as well. Obviously, I love health, I love fitness, but there's another side or other components to it that, you know, just, it's not going to complete you. Getting in shape isn't going to complete you. I think it's important. I think it is a big step in becoming a very, you know, developed version of yourself, so to speak, but it's not everything. You know, it's, you got the spirituality, you have, you know, kind of the mindset, you have your physical body, you know, you have learning finances. Like, there's so many different things. So always just want to advocate for that as well, and show you guys this too. This is the book that I'm reading right now, just in case you guys are interested. I'm, let's see, about 43 pages in, and already picking up some gems, you know, just some little useful things. You know, seems like it's going to be a pretty useful. It is a beautiful day, raining, cold, snow on the ground, to cook some steak on the grill while watching Attack on Titan on my phone. There's probably no more real depiction of being an entrepreneur than this. This is like, end of the day, just supposed to be chilling, hanging out, and there's just always something to do. I'm finishing up this the carousel post that I'm doing, and you know, like, the fun part is sometimes just going through the audios and trying to pick one. Just so you guys know, I put a lot of intention into these audios. See if we can find one to vibe with. Nah, probably not this one for this post, but my point is, entrepreneurship is literally, there's always just something to do. It is much harder to rest than to actually work. But after this, I have a few more stories that I want to put up for the day. I want to get the YouTube video up. I'm going to do this post. I have one more post to edit, and then I'm probably going to spend some time just kind of hanging out, hopefully watching, I don't know, some Attack on Titan or something, just on my computer, get ready for bed, probably read that book a little bit before bed. But this is pretty much the day. Might have a few more snacks or whatever to eat, just to hit my macros. Kind of got to take a look at that. But yeah, I'll say goodnight to you guys, but just wanted to let you into that because I think that's such an accurate depiction. It can't only be me. You know, when you're running a business, chasing dreams or whatever, it's just like there is always something to do. You know, just when you're so tired, drained, you just want to like lay there and do nothing. There's just, I call that giving the plus 1%. You know, that's really when it's like, that's when you have to take action. Those are those little things that I truly believe make the big difference in life, is just doing those small things. You know, when you're tired, you just want to lay there and like not post, not put that extra effort into things or whatever it is. That's exactly what most people are going to choose not to do, which is why if you do it, you will build a life that most people will not have. And you know, these days, it sounds pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. Today was a good day overall. Tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow is a rest day. And today ends the same way that today started, I guess, or last night, what I showed you guys. Set 3 new things. Gonna go to the gym again tomorrow. It's more of a rest day, just mobility, cardio. I like doing my cardio there to hit my step goal. I got a vlog, which is this video you guys are watching right now, I want to put out tomorrow, or at least start working on. Get some more in-depth kind of next level content research that I want to do, right? Still the plus 1% things I didn't necessarily get through today, cleaning my room. Gonna put that off for tomorrow and then do some other laundry. But that is a wrap for the day, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.